Hi, I'm David Flournoy. Today we're going to talk about solar panels. It's important that you consider the full picture when thinking about installing solar panels on your home. I've had this on my home for about a year and a half now. And this whole YouTube video is based on actual truths from my experience. You probably really would love to have all of this, and you should hear the entire thing before you get duped out of your hard-earned money. I don't have anything to sell to you. I just want to let you see the huge financial mistake that I made by choosing solar. Most of the people that fell for this probably wish they had known these little truths before they were talked into this scam. If you're interested in something like this, well, bear with me and let's go forward. Let's look at the real thing on my house right now. What we're seeing here is the solar panels are putting out 2.4 kilowatt hours. We're using 400 to 500 watts to run the house right now. So we're exporting back to the grid 1900 watts. Right now the air conditioner is not on. Some of the fans and stuff in the house are on. That covers what's happening there on the right. That little housetop beam the house is actually drawing right at the moment. Now in a moment the central air will kick on, and also I have a small window unit in a little shop out in the backyard, and I try to keep the temperature cooler in it. I have an embroidery machine and some other CNC equipment out there. This is just kind of a grand tour look. That's the simulated part of the panels on the roof. I have 9 up there, and it kind of shows that they're balanced. The sun is at a little bit of an angle at this time of the day. It's turn around, look at the clock here right quick. It is about 10 minutes past 1. So we've got a little bit of an angle. It's getting a little more over to the west side. The blue part you see on that scale there in front of you is the actual solar energy coming in. The brownish part, whatever color I want to call that, that's when it's drawing from the grid. And it just kind of keeps you a balance. It lets you monitor your system from anywhere. It doesn't matter where you are. You can always see what's going on. In a moment, it's going to kick the air conditioning in. There it is. Okay. We see we're still producing 2400 watts, but we're having to have another 1500 watts from the grid to assist the panels at this point, because both air conditioners are running at this particular point in time. Now they're going to run and cycle back off. I actually have the thermostat. The house is well insulated, so I've got the thermostat at about 80 degrees over here. It's very, very comfortable inside the house. But at any rate, even with all the panels going and everything rocking and rolling and full. So as you just saw, even though the 9 solar panels, they told me was plenty, the big group that come out here and told me how great solar energy was, they said that 9 is plenty to run everything in your house, because they looked at my light bill and decided how much I was using and all that. Okay, and you saw what happened when the air conditioner kicked on. It wouldn't put out enough, and it's bright just after midday sunshine here. It's just pouring down. There's no reason for it not to produce everything that it possibly can, and obviously that's not the case. So we have a $17,000 solar panel set up on the house, fully wired in, fully working along, as you saw with the export video that was included here. It's not producing enough power to run the house. So if $17,000 worth of panels wouldn't do it, and it had to import almost as much as it was using in the beginning just to add to it. So is this telling us that we need $34,000 worth of panels? They'll tell you anything to get you money, so be careful. We're going to go on through this, so this isn't the end of it. Okay, the whole point that we're trying to show now, this was actually taken today, this recording, October the 23rd, 2023, as you can see on your screen there. Okay, we have the Enlighten out that monitors right straight off of the box that's on the outside of the house there we showed you earlier. It's actually monitoring the solar panels right now live as we're looking at it. We see that this is an overcast sky. I wanted you to see this because you get more of these than you do bright sunny days. I don't really care where you live, you're going to have to deal with it. Anytime that it clouds up, the same solar panels, I mean, nothing's changed on this thing, but this is the most it could put out right now. That's equivalent to 500 watts or 5 light bulbs in an average house, unless you're running 60 watts. Of course, you can do the math on that. But we're having to import right now. I mean, it's climbed up to a half a kilowatt, which is 500 watts. We see that we're still having to bring 200 in. Obviously, on this time of the day, the air conditioner is not running at this particular point. The house is cool enough. Outside temperature, I believe, let me take a quick look at my gauge here. Let's see what we got going on outside right now. Okay, it shows that we are sitting at 73 degrees. This is in Waxahachie, Texas, as of right now, what you're looking at. Okay, so the I do have the air conditioner today because it's a little bit humid out there. They're predicting rain before the day's over, thus the clouds overcast we have. My temperature thermostat in the house is set at 78, so we're all equal right now. Everything's fine. Um, but even if this is just a normal day, we're not having to run any air conditioner, any air conditioning to speak of. And you can see we're just not making enough electricity to run it. So since I do not have the battery pack on the house, if we hadn't touched that already, we're going to do it here in just a moment. Um, we have nothing to help the thing. If we had batteries on the house, battery backup, it would actually be drawing from the battery right now because instead of the grid, it would pull from the battery. That's the way it's designed to operate. Unfortunately, at this particular point in time, when I agreed to purchase this unit and set it on my house, and incidentally, um, I kind of knew what I was walking into because I wanted to do this type of video. You kind of get tired of the hype that comes off, and it seems like the only business ethics that people have this day and time seems like it's to lie to you. It's a bait and switch type program. Show you this, and it's going to be that. Whatever they do, whatever it takes to make the sale and get their commission in their pocket, and then you're stuck with it for the rest of the time. Um, Now, purposely, I just used their financing and everything. I didn't want to just pay them for it, basically because I just seen my money stay in the bank and draw a little interest. So I just used their side of it. And besides, this is an experiment. I get tired of it, I'll pay it off. But um, I want to go through the full stream on this thing. And there's going to be videos more in the future. So this is not the end of the hunt on this. But I want you to see what's happening right now. If we had the battery pack, let's get to that one right quick, which I had called for earlier in the year today, or well, actually, it was at the end of last year. It was at the end of 2022. And I told them what was going on, what I'm seeing right now. And I said, I believe if we had more panels on this house, I think that probably it would keep up a little better. However, it's not going to help a situation like we have here. We got 9 looking straight up at the sky. We have an overcast sky. So if I had 18, I'm still looking at an overcast sky. It's not going to produce any more than the combination of what it gets out of the panels. That's the way this works. It just kind of blends them all together, and that's what it produces. You're only allowed to put back so much in the grid. Incidentally, on the side, they don't clarify that too well to you in the sales pitch. But yes, you're only allowed to put so much back into the grid. Fortunately, in their defense, which is kind of funny for me because I don't like defending liars, uh, the amount that the thing can put in there is pretty much equivalent to what your house can use. So, in other words, if it takes uh, 500-600 kilowatts to run your house, well, that's going to be what you're allowed to put back in. That you pretty much balance out like that.
Okay, so we say cloudy skies. We have no battery backup, so I'm having to pull it from the grid at full price, whatever they're charging for the grid. I have changed to another company that actually buys back electricity right now, and but it'll happen the middle of next month, middle of November, before that actually takes effect. Reason being is because the company that I was using as a supplier, I'd rather not call names because it doesn't make any difference. You can put them all into one bucket. You're going to get the same stuff. Yeah, you get a little this, a little that, but I'm not going to name call. I have nothing to sell, nothing to promote here. Um, at any rate, if this thing is sitting here running right now and it had batteries, it would be pulling from the battery, as I mentioned earlier. Okay, after I called them last year and I said, look, this thing, if it had more panels, it might do it. But I said, how about a solar battery? Now, when I purchased this, the salesman that sat in my dining room and we looked at all the paperwork, he recommended that I not buy the battery. And here's the story. He said the batteries are expensive, and he said your air conditioner will be running sometime and it'll be drawing from the grid, but when it turns off, you're going to be putting electricity back into the grid and it will balance itself out, so you're going to find a tremendous reduction in your light bill anyway. And said days that you don't need the air conditioner at all running, he said it's possible that you could take your bill down to zero. Okay, theoretically and hypothetically, that might be true. It hasn't happened in a year and a half. I'm watching this work right now, and you can sort of see how this flips backward and forward. Okay, so let's go back to the battery. Well, that would solve our problem. That would fix it up. Now, keep in mind, this much of the panel and everything, they had to redo everything in the house. They go into your electrical box, and if your box is not on the list of qualified stuff, then you have to replace that also, which is basically what happened here. This home is old. It was built a number of years ago. Good condition, but it was a starter home for young folks. And since it's just me, well, now that I've got all my years and age on me, um, it's all I needed. Just didn't need a whole bunch of frills and that sort of thing. Wasn't necessary. So, but anyway, they updated the electrical box as you saw in the earlier part of the video. Got all that stuff put on there, and in all fairness to everything, that was about $3,000 to have that done. And if yours doesn't qualify, and they'll tell you in the beginning, we'll have to see if it qualifies. But I mean, after you've signed the contract, they'll tell you they'll see if it qualifies, make sure it's good to go. They take pictures of it. And anyway, the installer people said, unfortunately, yours it doesn't qualify. We're going to have to replace that. And it was like I said, another $3,000. Okay, so we still have the original system being put in, and this company is pretty much like everybody's. They're all going to lie to you. Just go ahead and get ready for that. It's going to happen. If you're a solar salesman, I'm sorry, but the truth's the truth, whether you agree with it or not. So you can get basically the same thing. It's all comes out in the wash. They remove the end and put it on the front. It's just a bait and switch type thing. But at any rate, the batteries that the guy recommended I not buy because he knew that would turn me right off immediately. One battery cost $21,000. You don't have to believe me. Look it up. Look it up on the web. See what they cost. See what a battery costs. You'll find all the people that have the used batteries and forklift batteries and all this kind of stuff that you could use these instead. But let's stick with the program. Exactly what we're looking at. This is if you called and said I want solar, and they come out there and sell it to you. $21,000. That battery is only good for, depending on what you put on the load. They tell you right away that won't run your whole house. So you pick out what you want to run off the battery, like your refrigerator and your kitchen light or something like that. And literally, because they have to interrupt that circuit, and they fix it to where the battery will pick up on just that. Otherwise, you'll overload the battery and you'll run it down real quick. I mean, 3 or 4 hours on a fully charged battery, it'll be deader than a hammer. Okay, with no stuff coming in from the sunshine, you get no charge. Okay, nothing coming in from the grid, you get zero. You can charge the battery by hooking a generator on the outside and hook it onto a battery charger. You can charge the battery that way. Kind of defeats the purpose of this whole idea. Uh, the batteries are $21,000. Stick on that. Look it up. Look up Tesla batteries. Look at anything you want to, and you're going to find that number on those things. All right. So when we talk about getting off the grid completely, we want whatever it takes to run this house. So I have them on the telephone. I'm talking to them, the people that install this system, and they said, well, in order to run your whole house, it would be you'll need 3 batteries that would run it for about 3.5 days. Okay. So think about what I said. That's $63,000 for enough batteries to run this house. And this is a small house. This is not no mansion. Like I said, I live here alone. Well, my daughter has recently moved in with me, so just 2 of us here. But the house is a small house, 1,200 square feet. It's got 3 bedrooms in it, small bedrooms, 2 baths. Nothing special. Good insulation, thank God, but nothing special. $63,000 for the battery. Okay. Now add on the cost of what it took to put this thing in here. We add on top of the 63,000, put 14,000 on that. Do your own math. I'll let you go gasp and say, yeah, that's $75,000. Now then, I had to have the panels redone in the house, the electrical panels. So it was another 3,000. That'd be $78,000 to try to offset a little over $100 a month light bill. Doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? How many years would you have to pay on if you finance the whole thing? And they'll finance it all for you. No money down. They will hook you right up with a bank that'll take care of this. And it's probably not your local bank. It's Synchrony Bank. They're the same bunch that back PayPal and some of the big companies. There's a number of them that are handled by Synchrony Bank. They even handle automobile loans and stuff like that. Just a little nothing big bank, but they're behind most of the financing that's done on the fly like this. Seem to be good banks. They're straight up charge the heck out of you on interest, but so be it. So this is the biggest problem that I have with all this stuff. They make it look so wonderful. You can get off of the grid completely, and you can pay zero on your light bill. And if you put up for this house right here, $75,000, how many light bills a year would it take to get $75,000 worth of use out of it? I mean, just do the math. Do the math. This is crazy ridiculous. The payments on the panels right now, this particular one that I have, is $86 a month. Real low line, no problem. $86 a month. And all you do is drive that into $17,000, and you can figure it out for yourself. It's about 16 years worth of payments, just to knock off a little bit off of this light bill. All right. So we see what's happening on the panels. What's going on? I'm gonna turn it back on. It clicks out every now and then. I think about every 15 minutes or so. It has to regroup itself. So I kick it back on, and there you go. We're still in the overcast skies. We're using 800 watts of electricity running the house, having to input 400, and we're producing 400. So 50-50. There we are at the peak of the day. It's 10 minutes past 1 o'clock on, like I said earlier, October the 23rd, 2023. This is fresh, new. Right now, you're looking at it. It doesn't make a lot of sense to do this. I think that probably most people would agree with me. And if you still want to do it, you want to try it, you think you can do it different. I can't advise you. I'm just giving you the facts of what's happening here. You're going to get controversy. People that are selling these things for a living are going to tell you that this is not right. You can come by my house and look at it. I don't care. What I'm showing you is true. It is real. I don't have a bone to pick. Am I upset about it? No. It's just I like to know the facts. So I would be gladly to pay mine off at $17,000 if I can help somebody anybody, even one person in the entire United States, if I can, or even outside the United States, if I can help one person to avoid getting duped like this, I happen to be okay. I can handle this. I can knock it off. I can take stuff off my house and sell it. It's mine. I can do whatever I want to with it. Of course, I can't take my electrical panel out. All that had to be made in to meet up their specifications. They do take care of all of the permits. They do all that stuff. But believe you me, you are paying for them in the middle of this. So, in summarization, all I can tell you is this hype build up about going scot free solar, not burning any energy, not doing this, not doing that, save the trees, save the people, save the president, whatever the mess is going on, I don't know. But I want you to understand that the truth is there. And if you know me personally, you can give me a call. I'll talk to you about it. But at any rate, you can leave some comments where this thing goes if you'd like to. If you need to have some questions answered, but if you would click on this site and like it, if you would subscribe to it, it doesn't cost you anything. Because there's going to be a lot more of this type of stuff coming up. Not all solar. Now, we'll keep you updated. I've changed to a different company that will actually buy back my electricity. So I'm going to give you updates periodically on this, and you'll be notified if you click on that little unit there and says "Get me notifications." We're going to have a lot of other things that are going to be really neat. I have an embroidery machine that's a professional grade embroidery, and I have a lot of tips on that. Number one, how to do it, whether it's a good purchase price. The particular one that I'll be representing is what I have here in the shop, but they're mostly all the same. But there's little tricks, and they're a lot of fun. You can make money with them. It's definitely can. You have to work for it. People don't line up at your door just because you can, put an embroidery thread on a pillowcase or something like that. You have to search out your customers. But the big thing that happens is there's so many things that it's there again. It's a bunch of hype, and they show everybody giggling and happy, and they're making little special gifts for the kids and all these embroidery things. And man, I can sell caps. Yeah, mine embroidery caps, the baseball caps. It does a nice job. But there's a lot of stuff they don't tell you in the setup, and I'm going to be doing some videos on that, showing you problems that you will have, how to get out of trouble, how to set the machine up correctly. Some of the biggest things that I've heard is people having trouble breaking needles, breaking thread. They just can't figure it out. And I do know what causes that. I can go beyond what they train you for, and it's stuff to safely do. It doesn't void your warranty, and it's not a very good warranty anyway. Tell you that right now. But I can show you how to repair things on it. And you don't have to have a lot of mechanical knowledge, because I'll make it real plain and simple for you. So some of the ladies and a whole lot of the guys that like to do that sort of thing for a hobby, look forward to that. And we have several other things that are up and coming. So I appreciate a like if you liked it, and subscribe. Like I said, doesn't cost you anything. We'll keep you up to date on this. But so long, I hope that I've helped someone on this. So we'll see you around the corner. Take care.